Coach, thanks for joining us today. You want to start with giving us your thoughts on Saturday's match at Colorado?
Hi, Colin. First of all, how many journalists do we have currently right now in the press conference?
We have three. We have Ryan Clark from the Oregonian, Sam Spiller from Stumptown Footy, and we have KPTV.
Beautiful. So before talking about this weekend, I wanted to say thank you to you guys for always showing up, for listening to these press conferences, to be here, able to ask questions in whatever concerns you have, in order to have, this moment to chat about the team, about what we care so much about this Portland Timbers organization, about our fans, about all the good things that we do here in Portland. So thank you for showing up every day, every time that we have these press conferences. So feel free to ask any questions. So really an amazing week, what we have gone through, especially with the game that we played on Wednesday, the charity match for Ukraine. What an event, what a great atmosphere. Looking at the fans smiling, enjoying, it was phenomenal. And this week has been really, really good working week. Guys are ready to be able to perform. We did our tactical work yesterday and today. And now we're traveling to Colorado to play against a very good team. Our games against Colorado, they're always very good. They're always competitive. They're always very tactical. And I know that this one will be the same. And we're looking forward to it. We're going there with the desire, as always, to try to get 3 points, and looking forward to it. So we're really excited about this travel and about the work that we did this week.
Thanks, Gio. We'll go to questions and kick it off with Ryan Clark.
Hi, Gio. Congrats once again on what was a called back assist with Bill on Wednesday. That was a heck of a ball in there.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, just wanted to ask you about Seba and Diego. I know that Seba's got a thigh issue and Diego's dealing with a hip. What more can you tell us about the injuries they're dealing with?
Yeah, that both players will not be available for this weekend, so they will not travel with us. And we feel that maybe they will be able to initiate practice next week and most likely make the game the following week. So that's what we're looking into it. I think in New York could be a good possibility that they're going to make it, but unfortunately for this trip, both will be out, and that gives the opportunity to all the players to be able to come in and participate, and we're excited about that as well.
We'll go to Sam Spiller.
Hi, Gio. Just love to hear your thoughts on kind of what you view are the keys to the game tomorrow against Colorado. Colorado, like you mentioned, always a tough out. They were, the top team in the West last season. This season, maybe off to a little bit of a slower start, but that's kind of how it sometimes goes in MLS. So what are you viewing as the keys to kind of face a team that's similar but has some key differences tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, they were very good last year, and they achieved what we know that was for them a great achievement, all the way, being and finishing at the top of the West Conference. And they have the same team, even some new additions like Sardes that make the team better, and all the players as well. So we expect a very competitive game. They're very much a team that concentrates in their style of play and in their principles, and is very clear to see exactly what they're looking always on the field. Maybe they change a couple little things, in the way they press and the way they bring sometimes the fullback a little bit higher, the opposite, the little things that we need to be aware of, and we worked on it, and how we're going to deal with those moments, and we recognize also some areas that we maybe could take advantage of. So I think, as always, these games against Colorado have been very tactical since Robin has been there. And I think this is going to be a similar match, in a difficult place where we, know that we have to play with the altitude, and we prepare for it. So it will be an exciting game.
We'll go back to Ryan.
Hey, Gio, two questions for you. The first, the transfer windows is ending this coming week, and obviously you and Gavin both have talked about the desire to sign another striker. How is that progressing? And then the second question for you would be what you thought of Nathan Fogasa, even though it was a charity match, getting out there and contributing and scoring the way he did, and then now getting in with T2.
Yes, so we definitely, Ryan, are going to look to try to bring someone or make a signing for the first team before the end of the window. So we are right now having discussions in how we're going to move forward. We have recognized, potentially, we'll say 2 players that we finalizing, to decide, ultimately which one will be the one staying or coming, and that's the final decision that we have to make. But we feel, and I feel very confident that we will have that other striker as well very, very soon to be able to be available. So, and Nathan is done really well. So I think he's definitely a valid candidate to the possibility of, filling that spot, and we'll see, the final decision, which one will be. So I feel confident that we will take care of that spot before the window is closed.
We'll go to Sam.
Thanks. Speaking of other strikers, Gio, Tegi Koba finally got his first minutes last week. He played last 10 minutes or so for T2. He also played a bit during the charity game on Wednesday. How has he looked in training so far? And, what's the timeline maybe looking like for him with Felipe Mora still looking to be, his recovery timeline still being a little bit extended? What's some of the timeline looking like for him potentially starting to make the roster for the first team coming up here?
Yes, Sam. So Tega is fully available to participate. So he will be on the bench in Colorado. He will travel. He's starting to train more and more. He played a couple of minutes with T2 last weekend. So he's in that process in which he's available. Of course, we have to limit his minutes. Of course, he's still in a development stage. So we have to make sure that we are able to bring him, the way we feel is more appropriate for him to be able to develop. But he's right now a player that we can add up. And as I said, he will be in the bench in Colorado with the first team and available for T2 for the following day. So we excited that we also have Tega now, available, but he's one that still is in the process of continuing to grow. We need to do more work with him. He didn't do a proper preseason, so we have to do more work physically with him. But is a player right now that is available for us to utilize. So we are very content of that.